Jai Hind, dear students. Welcome back to your mathematics class. In our previous class or the previous video, we all have discussed the first part of the chapter, Visualizing Solid Shapes, where we have studied about basic terms which are associated with 3D shapes. And then we discussed about the nets of the different 3D shapes. Now, in today's class, we are moving ahead with the next part of the chapter, and it is drawing solids on a flat surface. We know that our drawing surface is flat. So, if we want to represent a 3D diagram on a 2D surface, how can we do so such that it looks like the 3D shape? For the same, in today's video, we are going to discuss about two different ways by which we can draw the solids on a flat surface. So, with beginning, let us begin with the first type, and that is called oblique sketch. Without knowing the definition, we will not be able to understand what it actually is. So the first part is the definition of the object sketch. So oblique sketch states that it is a measure of representing a three-dimensional object with a three-dimensional view on a two-dimensional plane surface. So it is quite clear that oblique sketches are those sketches in which we try to represent a 3D shape on a two-dimensional surface. In the case of oblique sketches, the exact measurements are not taken into consideration, though we try to do it at maximum extent with whatever we can do. But still we cannot draw it exactly with the same measurement as it is there in the original shape. So for drawing an oblique sketch, we need a squared sheet. What does a square sheet look like? So here it is. This is a squared sheet in which we can draw the oblique sketch of a 3D shape. So here we are going to draw the oblique sketch of a cube. So for the same, we will begin with drawing two squares. What we are going to do over here, we are going to draw an oblique sketch of a cube of sides 4 into 4 into 4. That means each side is of 4 unit. So we will begin with one square whose sides are 4 by 4, and then we'll draw one more square below it, and then we will join their respective corners or the vertices in this way. So hence after joining, you can see that we have got the 2D diagram of a 3D shape, which intuitively defines or depicts the properties of a cube. So without the square shape, if you try to draw it, it looks like this. So this is the first way of drawing the 3D solids or the 3D shapes on a flat surface. Over here, as I have told, the measurements was not taken much into the consideration, as you can see that though the breadth and the length and height are 4 unit each, but the breadth is not 4 unit over here. So we cannot take the dimensions exactly as it is. For the same, what we are going to do is to take another way of drawing them on a sheet of paper, and that is called isometric sketch. What is isometric sketch? So it is a pictorial representation of an object in which all three dimensions are drawn at the full scale of it, which means we will consider all their measurements exactly the way they are there. Let us try to understand it more easily by taking an example. So what we are going to do over here, we will draw an isometric sketch of a cuboid whose dimensions are 4 cross 3 cross 3. That means the length, breadth and height are respectively 4, 3 and 3 units. To draw this, what we require is the isometric dot paper or the isometric dot sheet. If you see the last page of your NCERT book, you will find an isometric dot sheet or paper over there. This is how it looks like. So let us try to draw the isometric sketch of a cuboid of dimension 4 cross 3 cross 3. So to begin with, what we do, we will draw a rectangle of length 4 and breadth 3 unit. So here is the rectangle. You can see that the length is of 4 unit and breadth is of 3 unit. And after that, we will try to draw the 4 parallel segments which are of length 3 units. So where it is, this is how it is. 3 units over here, 3 units over here, 3 units here and 3 units here. And now we join the remaining parts of this shape this way. So here we got the isometric sketch of a cuboid, which is this. So this is another way of drawing 3D shapes on a two-dimensional surface or on a sheet of paper in which the dimensions are taken into consideration. So now with these things, we are moving towards the second exercise of your NCERT book, that is exercise 15.2. We'll start with the first question, and the first question is this. These are the diagrams which are drawn on a square sheet. That means on these diagrams are oblique sketches. We need to draw their isometric sketches. So for this same, what you require is the isometric dot sheet. So you can make the duplicate copies of the isometric dot sheet which is present there at the back of your NCERT book and use them to draw the isometric sketches of these. I'll just show how their isometric dot shapes will look like. So there are 4 parts of this question. I have taken only 2 parts over here, and this is how their isometric sketches will look like. So you all can use, or you can all use a isometric dot sheet to draw these shapes. Moving towards the next question, I took question number 3, With sage, 3 cubes each with 2 centimeter edge are placed side by side to form a cuboid. What we need to do over here to draw the oblique or isometric sketch for this cuboid. The best way of understanding these questions is to take the square sheet, take the isometric sheets and draw them over there. So over here also I will just for your reference I'll show how their oblique sketch or isometric sketches looks like. So here we go. You can see in the first one 3 cubes are there which are joined end to end and it forms a cuboid on the isometric dot sheet, whereas in the second part you can see that it is drawn on a squared sheet and it forms again a cuboid. So with this we are concluding with this second exercise. The remaining questions you can try at your home. If you don't want get back to us. Moving towards the next topic, it is about visualizing solid shapes. Now this is what exactly the name of the chapter was. So why are we doing it over here again? Because at certain times what happens if you look the same object from different angles, it may look different, and that's what we call visualizing solid shapes. Over here you can see I have taken a pyramid and over here a plus sign which is again 3D in shape. So right now this pyramid from the front looks triangular, and let's see what if I rotate it. See, if I see it from this side, it looks like a square, whereas from this side again it is in the form of a triangle. Again from the top if you see, it looks like a square in which 4 triangles are embedded. So these are the different ways of viewing a solid shape, and if you see it from different parts, it may look different. For your reference, again this is another one. Here you can see that it is looking like in the shape of a plus sign, but what if it rotates? Now from front if you see, now it looks like there are 3 cubes. Again when it gets rotated like this, again it is plus. Once again when it gets rotated, again it looks like that there are 3 cubes placed over there. So by viewing a solid shape from different angles, it may look different. Also, when you slice a solid, you may find that it again looks different. For example, if there is a cone, you know that cone is pointed from the top, but if you cut it from the middle, you will get 2 parts, and the surfaces you will get after slicing it are known as their cross sections, are known as their cross section, and that cross sections differs in shapes if you slice them differently. In this class, we will slice them either horizontally or vertically, and accordingly we will try to see what type of cross sections you get. For example, if you slice a bread, if you get a complete bread and slice it, bread is cuboidal in shape, but if you slice it from the middle, you will get the surface either in the form of a square or in the form of a rectangle. So their cross sectional area or surface will either be in the form of a rectangle or in the form of a square. Same way, if you take the ice cream cone which is filled up of ice cream, if you slice it, again you will get 2 surfaces. If you slice it horizontally, you will get 2 circles there, cross section will be in the form of a circle, whereas when you slice it vertically you will get triangle. More we can understand if we look at the examples. So now what I am going to do is to take certain examples from exercise 15.3 to make it more clear to you all. So let's talk about the exercise 15.3. First question. The question says what cross sections you get when you give a vertical cut or a horizontal cut to the following solids. The first one is a brick. So horizontal cut and the vertical cut. You can see we have taken a brick over here. Once we took a brick and make a vertical cut, means from top to bottom, we will get the cross sectional part over here. You can see that this is rectangular in shape, so we'll get a rectangular cross section. Same way when we talk about the horizontal cut, if we make it horizontally slightly from the left to right, so then we'll get this area as its cross section, and once again you can see that it is in the shape of a rectangle. Same way, if we take another example of a dice, if we make a horizontal cut, we will get a square. For a vertical cut also, we are getting a square. In the case of a circular pipe, if you make the vertical cut, you will find that its surface which we get is the shape of a rectangle. Same way, if you take the horizontal cut, you will get a circle. So with this, we come to the end of the today's class or the today's video. For the remaining questions, go back to your NCERT book, try solving it, and if you won't get any question, get back to us. In the next video, we'll come back with the next part of this chapter. Till then, happy learning. Jai Hind.